guys actually have two. I think you have the liquor license and you have the dancing. Yeah.
I'm going to call this meeting to order. Let everybody find their seats, and then we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming. And can we have a roll call, please?
Watson.
Present.
Braun.
Here.
Libby.
Here.
Macri.
Here.
Strubing.
Yep.
And Thomas.
Here.
Great. A motion for the minutes for the last meeting.
So moved.
Second, all in favor of accepting the minutes from the last meeting? Okay, opposed?
I have on page 2, order number 4526. It says moved by Thomas, seconded by Thomas. I believe it was seconded by Libby. I watched the video. I'm pretty sure.
Approve as amended.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor of approving as amended? That's unanimous. Thank you, guys. Good catch. Petitions and communications this evening?
There are no petitions or communications this evening.
Okay. Town manager report?
Usually, when there's.
Could you go to the podium?
Yep.
Just so people can hear you at home.
Carolyn Beagle, 141 Ospey Trail East. Usually, when you have a brand-new council, the first point of business is to elect a chair. And last month, you tabled that. I believe that was erroneous because that's before you can even conduct a meeting, you need to have a chair. So I think the order of this is out of order. The election should be first of the chair and vice chair, because you can't have an appointment committee, you can't have any committees until you have a chair, because it's the chair that forms all the committees. So we're out of order here in how we're doing things. I don't quite understand why, because this is the second month into this new council.
Yeah, so I'm the one that generated that portion of this agenda, and that's how we actually did it last year as well. We were in a similar, so I just followed our past practices.
And I can really appreciate that, because what else are you supposed to do, right? But had the council fulfilled their duties and elected a chair, it's the chair that puts together the agenda with the town manager. That's how it's always been. And then for the appointment, for all the committees, the chair is the ex officio of all the committees, and it's one council member that actually chairs each committee. So I'm very confused at what is going on, but I think we need to get back to regular business. I mean, I appreciate your willingness to serve as chair, but you haven't been elected to be in that position.
As a vice chair from the last council, I am interim chair until there is one elected.
The interim chair is to run the meeting until you actually elect
And
the
that's what
chair.
we're doing.
And we did consult our attorney, and so he is allowed to, and tonight I think they're gonna advance it, you'll see.
Well, I think that ought to happen first before we do any of this other stuff, because that's really the order of things. That should be the order of things. This is really unorthodox and completely out of order.
Thank you. Report of the town manager.
So tonight, I'm gonna yield my time to Angela each month. I'm having the directors come in and share a little bit about what they do. So last month was John. Today, Angela's gonna give a little highlight about what she's doing.
Hi, I'm Angela. I'm the town clerk of Standish, as you guys already know. So our office is a little different from standard town offices. So our clerks do everything versus some other towns, they have it split between tax collector side and the clerk side. But all of our clerks are deputized tax collectors, so we do pretty much everything. You'll see the girls standing at the front counter, but what you don't see is all the stuff we do behind the scenes. So I'm just gonna quickly go over what each one of the workers do as far as reporting goes. And thought I was being timed for a minute. I don't know how it feels. All right, so first we start off with Marissa. So this is Marissa, she's our newest member. She's been here, I think, almost about 2 years, and she handles all the processing for voter registration, so the incoming voter registration cards from walk-ins, the BMV online portal. She also removes the deceased voters. We get a report from Vital Records, so she keeps all of the records clean in that system. We have a total of, as of today, 7,633 registered voters. And it had the numbers broken down by parties and unenrolled, which I found quite interesting. But we can go over that some other time if you want. She also does dog licensing, which is the tag reporting, and records rabies certificates that we receive from the state, which they get from the vet's offices, which I think every clerk in Standish is hoping they eventually switch that over to the vets and not on the towns and cities. She also does the weekly B&B inventory to ensure all the plates and stickers are accounted for. So that's pretty much sums up what Marissa does there. And this is Mickey in the picture. This is Jackie's dog. She's one of our workers as well, but we thought it was appropriate since Marissa deals with dog licensing. So next up is Kelly. She's been here over 2 years. She takes care of reports, reconciling and inventory for inland fisheries, which is ATVs, boats, snowmobiles, hunting and fishing licenses. She also does all the reporting for vital records, death, marriages, and births. We have a fun fact here that MSAD6 does reach out to us every year and ask how many babies were born, or an estimated amount, but we do have an exact amount, how many babies were born in Standish so that they can record how many they will need in 5 years for kindergarten. Any guesses on how many were born last year? Anyways, it's 101 babies were born last year in Standish. And the most popular baby name in Standish last year was Henry, a total of 3. So this next person, she's very camera shy. She's been with us for 25 years, very dedicated, and she's very well known. She doesn't like her picture tag. But this is what we got of Debbie. You also see her over at Hannaford as well, as you all know. Right now, she handles all of our motor vehicle reporting. This is our most detailed and time-consuming. It's daily and monthly state reporting. This is the most, especially after the last new issuance that we just had last year, where we switched over all the chickadee plates to either pine tree or no pine tree. So between her and Kelly and the whole office, she did a very good job on that. So as of last May, there should no longer be any chickadee plates on the road other than the ones who were like late to renew and just recently reserved their plate. But also at the beginning of the year, Debbie, Marissa, and Kelly all swapped the jobs that I just mentioned. They are all cross-trained in the office. So they will be switching with that soon. And then we have Janet. That's Janet over here in the gray. You want to give a little wave. She's been with us for over 20 years. She is our FOA officer, which is Freedom of Access officer. She's also the keeper of our oaths. She covers the front and their duties when people are out on vacations. She's also the lead for the front if they run into any questions or situations that they just need a little assistance with. She is the main contact for food truck licenses, victual license. She does all the licensing portion to it. She makes sure the paper's there and gathers signatures. She's a huge staple in our elections. She kind of runs the show on tabulations, which we will be switching over to digital this year. So it's going to be a little different, but it's going to be great. We've worked with other towns on the process of that. She also comes into my office frequently and will grab whatever's piling up and help me out with that. And she makes legendary tapioca pudding if you're into that. So she made some today. So to wrap it up, there's more things that the clerks do that I'm not mentioning because there's just so many. We got the dump passes, we have notary services. There's a lot more to it, but petition signature verifications. Yeah, there's a lot more to it, but that's just gives you a general idea of what each of the clerks do. Also, right now, it feels like election season never ends. It doesn't. Preparing for a single election, it takes about 3 months in advance of work. And then post-election reconciliation, which we're still going through from the last election, even though the next one has already started, that takes like another 2 to 3 months. So by the time you have one wrapped up, the other one's already started anyway. So happy election. And that's all I got for you. Do you have any questions?
You just became certified clerk, yes?
I did. I already passed the exam, but it's not official till I have the ceremony in November.
So kudos to you for leading the crew.
Thank you.
And didn't we just pass some FBI, what was that?
Yeah, we just went under audit, the town did, for background checks, and we passed with flying colors, so.
Kudos to you for running that.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate you.
Angela?
Okay, you're welcome.
And
Jen?
I'd like to make a motion. So Brandon has been acting as Counselor Watts has been acting as our temporary chair. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the council rules of order so that he can be our temporary chair until we get to the point in the meeting where we're going to be electing chairs this evening, and we're also going to be electing committee members.
Second that.
All in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you. So now we'll move on to public hearings.
Yes, first we start off with to receive public comments regarding a proposed amendment to the Standish Charter that reduces the number of meetings necessary for the town council to adopt an ordinance from 3 to 2. The proposed ordinance would be introduced at the first meeting with public hearing and potential action on the proposed ordinance to take place at a subsequent meeting held at least 7 days after notice is given. Once adopted, ordinances would be published on the town's website, but would not be published in the newspaper. And if you,
Is there any,
we're gonna divide those.
yep,
Okay.
is there any comments on that?
Yes. Carolyn Beagle, 141 Oxford Trail East. Changing an ordinance is a pretty big deal. The more opportunities you have for citizens to weigh in, the better the process. Sometimes people don't hear about it until at least the second reading, and then they only have one more reading to speak about it. So if you're looking for an educated populace to help you really understand the ordinances and push the comp plan forward, I would ask that you keep the 3 readings as is. Thank you.
Izzy Higgins, 215 Bonnie Eagle Road. I appreciate the idea of shortening the process because having been in a situation where things took months, and plural, multiple months, it can drag on. However, I'm not a big fan of everything being digital everything being online, everything being on a website, because we have a lot of senior folks who count on newspaper information and other written communications. So I've made this point before, and I'm just going to hammer on it again. Communication with the public, with the town of Standish, with the residents of Standish needs work. And making less communication available through print, I don't think is a real good thing to do at this point. Thank you.
Anybody else in this first section for the public hearing? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing there and move on to the next one.
Yep, to receive public comments regarding a proposed amendment that increases the total of capital expenditures requiring submission to and approved by referendum vote from $75,000 to $150,000.
Okay, any public comments on that?
And the complete text of the proposed ordinance amendments is on file at the office of the town clerk.
Just state your name and address, please.
My name is Jeff Lowe, 52 Lindsay Drive here in Standish. I have a question. How long has it been since it's gone from, what's it, 75,000? At what time was that set? Does anybody know?
Tom, was a $75,000?
Right, yeah. How long has it been that way?
I don't have an answer for that.
I've been on meetings with the lawyer before, and it's been so long that it wasn't determined on the phone call. That's how long it had been. Do you have any input?
No, but I've been here for over 4 years.
I'll text Scott and see if I can get an answer, but I don't.
With incomplete data, it sounds like if it's been long enough that nobody in the room remembers, we have a lot of things, inflation, cost of living, supplies, all that fun stuff that makes it sound reasonable that it be increased to basically the same level based on today's purchasing. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other public comments on that item? Okay. Seeing none, we'll close that. And John, if you get an answer, feel free to let us know. So let's have a roll call, please, on those two public hearing items.
Sure. Watson?
Yes.
Wait,
Oh, yes.
are we separated them or are we doing
We
them?
actually don't need to do a roll call on it. It's just a public hearing. It's
Right.
required
Oh, to close.
for charter, so.
Yep.
Because the questions were already approved last meeting.
That's right.
So we're all set.
We're
with that.
good. We're good.
So we can, do you want me to move on to the
Move on to
73?
the, yep.
It's 73-26, application submitted by Vino Bodega Incorporated, doing business as Silly's, located at 131 Ossipee Trail West, for a new on-premises beer and wine Class A restaurant license. Ordered that the application submitted by Vino Bodega Incorporated, doing business as Silly's, located at 131 Ossipee Trail West, for their second renewal of an on-premises beer and wine Class A restaurant license, is approved by council to expire as determined by the Department of Public Safety.
Is there any public comments for this? Seeing none, anything from the council? Lisa?
Any issues that required law enforcement in the last year?
No.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Sink, roll call, please.
Watson?
Yes.
Braun?
Yes.
Libby?
Yes.
Macri?
Yes.
Strubing?
Yes.
And Thomas?
I'm abstaining for conflict of interest.
So that's 5 yes. Thank you.
Before Scott's 18 years, so it's been at least 18 years.
It's been a while. Okay. Very good, thank you. So 7426,
Application submitted by Randall's Orchard Incorporated, located at 1 Randall Orchard Road, for new on-premises beer and wine, not Class A restaurant license. Order that the application submitted by Randall's Orchard, located at 1 Randall Road, for their initial on-premises beer and wine Class A restaurant license, is approved by council to expire as determined by Department of Public Safety.
okay. Any public comments?
Mary Hill from Wildwoods Road. Could you explain the difference between not Class A and Class A? in terms of?
I reached out to Bablo, which is the Bureau of Alcohol, Lottery and Operations, and asked them, and they said that's just on their end, that's just their own personal classifications. So I don't know exactly what each class means, I just know it's their classification system, so I'm not sure.
I just was wondering whether it has to do with the sit-down restaurant or, because I'm not sure where Randall's would be serving this. Or, it's just a question. I didn't know if
Yeah.
anybody is here from Randall's.
I am
Oh, yeah.
in the back hide.
You come on up.
What's that?
Just wanted you to tell us.
Is there a difference in the classes?
I'm interested in where alcohol will be served.
It's right out by the farm. Have you seen the greenhouse?
Mhm.
Big greenhouse out back. So it's gonna be right beside it.
Okay, it's going to be a restaurant there or a building there or?
It'd just be a roped off area. And I've got it roped off. If you live down there, you can go pull in and see it.
Okay,
I've got it all ribboned off with
and that just means that that's where you can serve alcohol?
yeah, it's just gonna be seasonal.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just gonna be there, you know, like for people, for apple season and stuff like that.
So you think of hard cider?
Yeah, maybe a little hot side.
I just,
Okay.
yeah, I was just trying to get some clarification.
Yeah, and if
on
you
that.
pull into the parking lot, you can see where I got it ribboned off with barrels.
Great,
Hope they don't-
thank you. Any other public comments? Okay, council? Yes, go ahead, Lisa.
You said you have an area just roped off in the parking lot?
No, it's not in the parking lot.
Can you come back up to the podium just so everybody at home can hear you? Thanks.
It's behind, I see.
Beside the
donut
greenhouse,
shack.
it's on the grass area.
There, I didn't see a building there. I saw the donut shack, which was red, and I saw the frame for a small greenhouse, but I didn't see a building. And I didn't see ropes, but I was looking from the road.
I just put them up today.
Okay, so it's just gonna be, so where are they gonna purchase the alcohol from? What building?
Right there, we'll put a easy up. We'll do it right from in that roped off area.
What's an easy up?
Well, just a pop-up tent, something with a top on it.
So is it gonna be, everything's gonna be taken down every night?
So they have a new building there that they're serving pizza out of.
Yeah.
Is that the red one? Next to the,
No, the red one's a donut shack.
okay, so where's the pizza one? Cause when I drove
It's a
past.
black building.
The black building, where is that?
It's right beside this, hooked onto the farm stand.
Okay, I didn't see that, I guess, maybe I missed it. I saw the frame for the greenhouse.
Yeah, it's in the drinking area is gonna be right beside the greenhouse. So it's away from,
So, okay, so on this, where's the greenhouse in relation to the roped off area? That's, yeah, this is Highway 25.
Greenhouse is right here.
Okay, so right here?
Yeah, so you get donut shack, you get the frame right there. Right on the area right here.
Okay,
Push it off, I
How-
roped it off.
how big is that area?
Oh, it's probably.
You probably have to go back to the podium, sorry.
I didn't measure it off, but it's probably 75 by 50.
And it's a single rope? Sorry, I couldn't see it from the road when I drove past 7.
Yeah, single row. I didn't have it up today till about 4 o'clock,
Okay,
so you wouldn't have seen it. You'll see the whiskey, I got barrels out there. Whiskey
Okay.
barrels, if you drive by now, you'll see it.
all right. And remind me again, if this is a pop-up thing,
Well, I'm gonna,
brought in every night?
yeah, we're gonna bring it in, we'll pick it up during the day. We'll set somebody out there on the weekend. Right now, I don't have a place for it to put, I don't have a shack or anything like that, so we'll just use something pop-up tent. We'll ribbon it off and we'll just do it out of coolers.
Okay, if you didn't,
But we'll pick it up every night
and put it where?
in the pizza
the-
place.
Okay, all right, and there's,
That's where it's gonna be connected to. It's gonna be connected to the pizza shack,
okay,
but I don't,
the end game is to connect it to the pizza shack.
it is, it's gonna be
Okay.
connected to there, but we're gonna have, he says I can, set up something inside the roped off area to sell.
Mhm.
So make it easy, people come in, buy a beer and sit there and drink.
Okay, and there's gonna be tables in there, or is it
Oh,
just
yeah,
standing?
Picnic tables.
Is it a single rope, or is it a?
It's a roped off, I got barrels, like whiskey barrels.
Ropes between barrels?
Yep,
Okay,
correct.
all right, and there's still gonna be just one restroom with the alcohol serving?
Yeah. He said that's all you need is one restroom.
Depends on how much alcohol you can hold.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
all right.
Thank you.
Question, are you gonna have a bartender there?
Oh, yeah,
Who's
yeah,
certified and
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure that people are kind of over.
The state oversees
yeah.
all of this,
Yeah.
it's not the town.
Absolutely.
Any further public comments? Or sorry, council comments? Public is closed. Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Braun,
Yes.
Libby,
Yes.
Macri,
Yes.
Irving,
No.
Thomas,
I have to abstain for conflict of interest.
and Watson.
Yes. So that was
4
4
yeses.
yeses. Thank you.
Okay, so next up is 75-26. Application submitted by St. Joseph's College for renewal of special amusement permit at 278 Whitesbridge Road. Ordered that the application submitted by St. Joseph's College for renewal of special amusement permit located at 278 Whitesbridge Road upon approval of code enforcement officer, health officer, and town manager is approved by council. And the special amusement permit will expire at the same time as the applicant's liquor license.
Okay, we'll open this up to public comments for St. Joe's. Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public comment section and council comments. Go ahead, Lisa.
Just one. Any issues with law enforcement over the last year? No, thank you.
Any further council comments?
What is this for? So is it a special, they're doing a fair for one day, a weekend, or is this a special?
I'm with St. Joseph's College.
Perfect.
Kel Thompson, representing St. Joseph's College, 278 Whitesbridge. So the special amusement license covers dancing, music, and we also need it in order to have our liquor license approved.
Okay.
And that's the next step on the docket.
And so this is something that is going to be for like an entire year?
Yep.
And gonna cover a lot of different things?
Yep, we renew it every year.
And just to clarify too, this is because there's a question on their liquor license where they answer yes, and they have to get inspected by the fire marshal. So that's why I'm just trying to find which question it was.
And we did have that inspection and passed it.
Yeah, you guys have been great providing all the documents for sure. Yeah, it should be, yes, number 8. Yeah, when that's checked off yes, then we have to do this part.
So it's question 8?
On the liquor license?
Oh,
Which is order 7626.
Yep.
I don't know if it's the same as, is your license application for a vessel? Is that not, I gotta look at the other one.
That's on the liquor license.
On 76-26, question 8 asks, do you have a license from the Office of State Fire Marshal? Contact blank blank to determine whether licensure is necessary.
Any other questions?
We're still just working on 75-26, right?
Correct, yep.
Thank you.
So roll call, please.
Braun,
Yes.
Libby,
Yes.
Macri,
Yes.
Strubing,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
and Watson.
Yes,
Thanks, Phil.
great. Committee reports, this will be a little bit abbreviated because there wasn't a lot of committee meetings this month because of the lack of the committees. But the appointments meeting has met several times since last month. And we will be bringing forward something this evening very shortly, which you will see. Don't believe there's a capital improvements, economic development. Finance committee,
Committee met, everything is on track. We're going to be bringing forward an order later on regarding selection of a real estate broker.
great. There was no ordinance, personnel, or water steering, or transportation committee, so.
Can I just make one announcement? The
Absolutely.
next ordinance committee meeting is 8/18 at 4 PM.
Very good, thank you.
Again, point of order, I'm just so confused. If you don't have a chair, and the chair hasn't made the committee assignments,
To the podium, please.
Yes.
Again, Carolyn Beagle, 141 Ospey Trail East. I'm just so confused because you don't have a chair, and it's the chair that makes up the committee assignments. So how is this happening? I just.
So yeah, we actually follow, we checked our charter, our rules of procedure, and our attorney, and the committees stay the way they are until they're appointed. So the committees have met with the old committees that were there.
So there's really no reason to have a temporary chair because all of you people, it's your job to pick a chair, which should have been done right away. There's really no reason to have a temporary chair.
I think if you're just a little patient, you'll see that's coming up very shortly.
So we should, in about 15 minutes or less, we should have a chair, we should
I
have all
get that, but then it's the chair that assigns all the committees to start doing things, but we already have an appointments committee that's bringing forth a candidate.
That was an interim appointments committee that was made a couple months ago to look at filling the vacancy. That's the only appointments committee that's happened.
I just question the
Voted on
legality
by-
of that, considering
It was our legal opinion that we had an interim
conveniently. Conveniently.
Thank you. Consent calendar.
There are no consent calendar items on this agenda.
Okay, let's move to unfinished business.
May I be heard on a motion for unfinished business?
Absolutely.
I move that we amend the agenda to move the election of the council chair and vice chair to after we consider new business 77-26.
Second that. Move to second, all in favor? Okay, that's unanimous. So let's move on to that new business 7726.
Sorry, you want me to go right down or do you want me to continue?
Oh, no, we're gonna.
Yes, continue order.
All
Sorry.
right.
Yeah, thank you.
So 71-26, appointment of at-large town councillor to fill a vacancy until the June 2027 municipal election. Whereas on June 13, 2026, the Standish Town Council declared a vacancy on the council due to a then councillor's failure to maintain the qualifications for membership as set forth in section 202A of the Standish Town Charter, and whereas pursuant to section 202D of the Standish Town Charter, the town council has the authority to fill such a vacancy by appointment until the next regularly scheduled municipal election, and whereas the town council has interviewed candidates to serve the remainder of this term and find the selected individual well qualified to serve the community. Now therefore be it ordered that the town council of the town of Standish, Maine, that blank is hereby appointed to serve as an at-large town councillor with said term to expire upon the certification of the results of the June 2027 annual municipal election.
Great. Thank you. So the appointments committee, the interim appointments committee has met several times. This first time was just the appointments committee. All times since has been all counselors were invited to come in and hear the interviews, so on and so forth. This earlier today, before we came to this meeting, we made our final decision, and that's to bring forward the candidate Jeff Lowe. So I'll make a motion that we amend this, that Jeff Lowe is hereby appointed.
I second that.
So all in favor of the amendment? That's unanimous. So is there any council, public comments on this order? Okay, seeing none, any other councilor comments? Anybody want to say anything? Okay, then let's have a roll call for this vacancy.
Braun?
Yes.
Libby?
Yes.
Macri?
Yes.
Strubing?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
And Watson?
Yes. Thank you.
Can he be sworn in
just
and
gonna say,
start
can
at
we-
this point?
We swear him in. Jeff Lowe, if you want to come up to the podium, please.
Congratulations.
So I'll have you read along if you would like. All right, so have you raise your right hand, and can the mics hear me? Yeah, we're good.
Testing.
All right, I, Jeffrey Lowe,
I, Jeffrey Brian Lowe,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and will obey the laws
and will obey the laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Maine,
and of the state of Maine,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
observe the provisions
of the Charter
of the Charter
and
and
ordinances
ordinances
of the town of Standish,
of the town of Standish,
and will faithfully discharge
the
duties of
duties of
town councilor
town councilor
at large.
at large. So help me God.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and.
Thank you, Jeff.
We're gonna go ahead and have you sign.
All right.
We're good.
We'll have a name tag mag for you shortly. You're welcome. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chair, could I stand to a point of personal privilege?
Sure.
First off, thank you to the members of the council for taking your time to interview a large number of people who are interested in standing for this office and serving our friends and neighbors here in Standish. I'm humbled to be standing here, and I'm grateful, as always, for the participation of the community in our town, because we are a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And I intend to live by those words. So communication, respect, openness, and everybody's getting their fair share. So thank you all in advance. Thank you for your trust in me. Let's get to work.
Great. Appreciate it. Thank you.
May I be indulged with another motion to amend the
Certainly.
agenda?
Yep.
I'd like to move order number 7276 to be considered after we hold the election of the chairs.
I'll second that. All in favor of the amendment or of the agenda?
Is it already behind?
That would be the next one.
That would be the next.
Oh, so do this one, electing the chair and vice chair first, right?
Yes, and then do the committee
Then do the committee
appointments.
appointments.
Yeah, I think that's the order it was in, right?
No,
Okay.
Yeah,
it will be now.
it will be now. All in favor? Just because, okay, that's unanimous. Perfect. Thank you. So let's continue.
So did you want me to continue down new business, or are we doing 77-26
Nope,
first?
new business.
New business.
All right, so 76-26, applications submitted by the trustees of St. Joseph's College for renewal of an on-premise beer, wine, spirits license as qualified catering services. Order that the application submitted by trustees of St. Joseph's College for renewal of on-premises beer, wine, and spirits license as qualified catering services at 278 Whitesbridge Road is approved by council to set as expired, determined by Department of Public Safety.
Great. Any public comments on this? This is the actual liquor license for St. Joe's College. Seeing none, any council comments? Lisa,
Is alcohol allowed to be served outside of that stone building?
come on up to the podium for that. Please. Thank you.
Because it's quite a ways away from the campus, which is nice, but are they allowed to walk out with it?
So the campus encompasses the stone building. They own, St. Joseph's owns that property. Alcohol stays inside the building and right outside in a tent. And then we do serve alcohol on campus for special events.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the council? Okay, seeing none, thank you. Let's have a roll call, please.
Braun?
Yes.
Libby?
Yes.
Macri?
Yes.
Strubing?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
And Watson?
Yes.
We got one more though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and
I-
Or is he allowed to vote?
Or am I assure you, I will not sway the decision.
No. I will refer to you guys to decide.
Are you okay with it?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Normally, we try to get you caught up to speed first before you vote, but if they're fine with you digging right in, I will certainly add you to the roll
Go
call.
ahead and add him to the roll call.
Huh?
Add him right to the roll call.
Okay, yep. Lo? Okay.
Very good, thank you.
Can I just say something?
Yep, absolutely.
That's our first 7-0 in
7-0 in a long
how
time.
many months?
Very, very, very long time.
All right, so 77-26, appointment of co-chairs of the town council for fiscal year 2026 to 2027. Whereas section 209 of the town charter requires the council to elect a chair from among its members at the first meeting of the regular municipal election, and whereas to date, the council has been unable to select a chair for the current fiscal year, and whereas in lieu of operating without the chair, the council would prefer that 2 co-chairs be appointed, with such co-chairs sharing responsibilities as further specified herein. And whereas the town council agrees and affirms that this mechanism for power sharing is in the best interest of the town. Now therefore be it ordered by the Town Council of Town of Standish, Maine, that Jennifer Thomas and Brennan Watson are hereby appointed as co-chairs of the Town Council for 2026 to 2027 fiscal year as follows. A, unless otherwise agreed between them, each co-chair shall serve as the presiding officer of the council for 1 meeting, with the other co-chair serving as vice chair for that meeting. While acting as presiding officer, the co-chair shall have all authority vested in the chair by the charter in section 1 of Town Council Rules of Procedure. The rules of each co-chair shall be reversed for the following meeting. B, both co-chairs shall serve as co-equal ceremonial heads of the town government, as set forth in section 209 of the charter. C, both co-chairs shall collaborate to appoint members of the council to council committees as prescribed in section 1.4 of Town Council's Rules of Procedure. D, notwithstanding their sharing of responsibilities as set forth in this order, neither co-chair may serve as a singular or co-chair of the council for more than 1 during their elected term of office per section 209 of the charter. E, unless otherwise set forth in this order, all other provisions of the Town Council Rules of Procedure shall remain unaltered and in full force and effect.
After our last month's meeting, with all the division and comments, I reached out to Jen, and we had a nice conversation over the phone to try and figure out how we can bring everybody together and work as a unit on the council instead of having split ties and all the divisiveness. And she came up with this idea of the co-chair. So her and I met with Tasha, got the opinion of the lawyer, just to make sure it was all kosher and good to go. And this is the solution we came up with, and it's working well so far. Jen, do you have anything to add to that?
No, and as you'll see in just a few minutes, we'll have this full support of the council.
So is there any public comments? Carolyn was first, and then I'll have one.
Carolyn Beagle, 141 Ospey Trail East. I have like a major knee-jerk reaction to this because usually when you elect someone, this is a public proceeding where all the conversations are held publicly. Everybody gets to hear the discussion. Everybody gets to hear really how the decisions are formulated. This is like a meeting outside of the public to make decisions about how this council is going to run. Wow. I mean, I can't even believe that you would consider doing that and not having the discussion in public. There's no reason why with 7 people, especially now, you can't nominate and have an election for chair and vice chair and have everything all in public so everybody can hear. Usually when you make a nomination, you say why that person would be a good fit for the position. I don't really think it's up to you and Jen to decide for the council. I'm shocked. Thank you.
Michelle Guilford, 18 Ashley Lane. Well, I don't know anything about the legal parts of this stuff. I'm just getting involved in this. And for me, when I left this meeting last time, I was so discouraged. I was like, nothing with this council is gonna happen. We've got to take, it into our own hands as citizens to try to get what we need. And now I'm seeing you all agreed on a 7th person. And you're agreeing to have 2 people, so 1 person isn't the voice for everyone, which is what I felt like last week. So in my eyes, I'm hopeful for Standish. I don't know about the legal part of it, But tonight, I'm listening and I'm much more hopeful than I was before that you're working for citizens of Standish and not for your own agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, we'll see none. Public comment will be closed. Any council comments? Jeff?
The
Okay.
senior member.
Based on what's happened over the last couple months, thinking outside the box this way, until we did not have a seventh person elected, this was the team thinking outside the box, and it was the best solution to get stuff moved forward. It's still a chair, vice chair situation. It's just for the next 9 months where they're swapping on and off. And I thought it was a good plan and it worked. So I was happy with it.
Thank you, Lisa.
Win-win.
Jeff?
So I'm aware of why we're here and how we got here, and I think we're making progress by even discussing it and solving the situation. But on the topic of adjusting our foundational documents and changing the way that we handle chair versus vice chair, I can understand making changes tactically and appointing interims as needed in case somebody's sick or incapable of performing their duties, but the town council has a chairperson who has responsibilities that are outlined in writing, and one of them is to have a chair and a vice chair. And I would be more comfortable voting for the leader of the board, somebody that I have a lot of confidence will continue this consensus building and support the most, let's just say, the best practices with regards to community involvement, transparency, and understanding what's going on. So that's a concern for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I'll say, I mean, one of the things that I think that was very clear in the meetings is the public wanted us to move forward, figure out a way to move forward. We figured out a way to move forward. What you're seeing now is not the division that was happening before. You're seeing the town move forward. You're gonna about to see the whole list of committees that were put together by people figuring that out. It was not one person in a room deciding what it was collaboration. Now, yes, I would have loved to have that in public, and that's what I mentioned the first meeting. Let's do it right here in front of everybody. Let's do it now. That was not something that had a consensus at the time. So there were some other ways to do
That constitutes
it.
an illegal meeting. I just want to
Sit
say
down.
that. It
Thank you.
constitutes an illegal meeting.
There was never more than two counselors together talking at one time. So as far as it did not break anything that was in the rules. It is a way for moving forward, and it is a way for getting this town better than it was. And I think it's it is a great way of power sharing responsibility for the next 9 months-ish.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Jen.
To address Councilor Lowe's comment about a change in our procedure, this is just for this fiscal year. It's just an experiment for us to try. Once this fiscal year is over, it will go back to chair and vice chair unless the next council makes that change.
Any other comments? Okay, we'll see none. We'll go to a roll call, please.
Braun,
Yes.
Libby,
Yes.
Lowe,
No.
Macri,
Yes.
Strubing,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
And Watson.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so now that 77's done, yep, okay. Would you like me to turn it on?
72.
72.
Okay, the announcement, 72-26, the announcement of the town council chair committee appointments and standing committee appointments. Ordered that the following town council appointments are made through the date shown. Boards and committee.
Make a motion to waive reading, because we're going to be amending
Amending
this.
it. I'll second that. All in favor of waiving the reading? Macri and Jeff,
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to show them the changes.
updating him. Are you guys okay with waiving the reading on it? Because we're gonna
Yes,
change.
yes.
Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you. So
So why don't I make a motion to modify, and why don't I read the whole thing?
yep, perfect.
So that we have the whole thing and we're putting that in, right?
Yes.
Okay. Under boards and committees, Recycling Committee, Council Rep would be Benjamin Macri with the term to expire June 30, 2027. Budget Committee, Citizen Rep, Derek Rolio with the term to expire June 30, 2027. Further ordered that the Town Council Chair appointments to the following committees, Town Council Standing Committees, are approved by the Town Council. Board Committee, Public Safety Committee, Council Rep to be Jeffrey Lowe, term expired June 30, 2027. GPCOG PACS Policy Board, Counselor seat to be candidate Ben Macri with a term to expire June 30, 2027. Old Red Church Liaison, Counselor seat to be candidate Jennifer Thomas with a term to expire June 30, 2027. Watchung Lake Liaison, Counselor seat, candidate Brandon Watson with a term to expire June 30, 2027. Now on to committee appointments. The Appointments Committee, Braun as the chair, Macri and Lowe as the other members. Capital Improvements, Watson as the chair, Strubing and Libby as the other members. Economic Development, Strubing as chair, Libby and Thomas as the other members. Portland Water District, Thomas as chair, Watson and Lowe as the other members. Ordinance Committee, Libby as chair, Watson and Thomas as the other members. Personnel Committee, Macri as chair, Braun and Strubing as the other members. Finance Committee, Thomas as chair, Watson and Braun as the other members. And finally, the Transportation Committee, Lowe as chair and Braun and Macri as the other members. That's my motion.
Everybody's, a motion to approve the amendment as amended.
I accept that.
Second, all in favor of the motion as amended? Very good, thank you, that's unanimous. Public comments on these appointments as amended? Seeing none, any more other counselor comments? Go ahead, Lisa.
I want to thank you for working with my schedule. I know it was a pain, and I really appreciate it.
Any other comments? Okay, seeing none, let's have a roll call, please.
Braun,
Yes.
Libby,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
Macri,
Yes.
Strubing,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
And Watson.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on to 78-26.
Yep.
Call for public hearing to be held on August 25th, 2026 to hear public comments regarding a petition for the enactment of an ordinance entitled Mobile Home Park Rent Stabilization. Order that a public hearing be held on Tuesday, August 25th, 2026 during a special town council meeting to hear public comments regarding a proposed ordinance entitled Mobile Home Park Rent Stabilization to be presented to the voters on November 3rd, 2026 at a special town meeting referendum vote. A copy of proposed ordinance is available for review at the town clerk's office as well as on the town's website and will be available for review at the public hearing.
Great, thank you. Anybody would like to speak on it for public comments? Come on up to the podium, state your name and address, please.
Walter Moran, 131 Dow Road. I own Northeastern Estates, my wife and I. We've had that park for 42 years. I don't think the town should get involved in what we can charge for rent. I don't think the state even should, because that is a business. That is a business. My wife and I started that for side business along with all the rest of the stuff we got going on. And we've worked up there weekends and forever building this park. And I think we're probably one of the lowest ones around. And I don't think we all should be put in the same category. I mean, we've gone up 5 times, maybe, in 42 years. That's $9 a year. We're only 500 right now. I don't see why we need any governing. Why don't we get after Central Maine Power? They doubled and tripled their rates. The same people who live in those homes, they pay the power bill, probably say nothing, but the park owner takes the hit. I don't think the town should get involved. The state's already got a cap on it of consumer index price plus 1%. That's all you can go on. I don't think the state should even be involved. If we're gonna get involved in trailer parks, we ought to get involved in the grocery store, Hannaford's, not particularly Hannaford's, but Central Maine Power, the white gravel business. I don't think they should be involved. In my case, it's a business. Some other places, they got investors and I know they have to make money. But don't put us all in one basket. It's not right. Thank you.
Hi, I'd like to talk quickly about captive tenancy. I know I've talked to you about this before, and I understand that Cliff owns a mobile home park, and my family's known him for a long time. His park is different than others, and CMP actually does have something that keeps an eye on the prices. They have to go in front of a board to get certain prices approved, price hikes and stuff. So for me, sorry, page, but where we live is definitely a captive tenancy. I believe in business. I also believe in a market is only truly free when both sides have a meaningful choice. I have owned a business. I have managed an apartment complex. I've managed small mom and pop businesses and operations for large corporations. I understand expenses, payroll, maintenance, investment, and the need to earn a reasonable return. I do not believe every price increase is greed, and I do not believe business should be prevented from making a profit. But I have also lived in Pine Tree Estates for 30 years, and I have witnessed what happens there. There is no give and take. A lot of municipalities around the United States face mobile home parks that are owned by major investment firms. And they themselves have to be careful of lawyers, of how much money they have. And when a town has to be afraid of that, what do you think a tenant that lives in those places has to be afraid of? It's not the same when I owned an ice cream place and you didn't like the price, you could go someplace else. I had to keep my prices low. In a trailer park, I am stuck there. I didn't realize that 30 years ago when I moved in. We were a young family. That's all we could afford. We could only get a $60,000 loan. We moved in there. The law run was $235. Now to move into Pine Tree Estates, it's $970 plus. We are not asking you to control prices of every business in Standish. It is way different when you are stuck where you are and someone holds all the power and you hold none. Especially when you have spent 50, 60, 70. My son just spent $135,000 for a trailer. And if you can't afford the rent because tomorrow they tell you it's $1,500 a month, you still pay the rent. When you're not living there, you gotta move your trailer. So you keep paying and you keep paying until you can't afford no more, and then the park takes it over. That's what happens. I've seen it. They pay $1,000 to someone that's paid $40,000 for a mobile home. Then they put a new roof on it and they sell it for $80,000. That's what we face. And it's not about someone not making money and paying their expenses. I believe people should make a profit. I've been in business a long time. Thank you.
Michelle? Can I have you state your name? Sorry.
Michelle Guilford.
Thank you.
You've already spoke once, so we can't have you come back up. Sorry. Any other public comments? We'll go there in the morning.
People that bought this, Clyde Bella of 21 Sunset Drive, mobile park. But when they bought it, the first year they went up was $20. Ever since then, they've gone up $45, $37.
Last year, we took them to mediation because they said they went up 4.1, but they didn't. They went up 4.3. These people you can't trust. So if we don't have you backing us, we are in trouble because they feel like they can do whatever they want and no one can do nothing about it. And a gentleman just sold his trailer, had to come down $20,000 because the new people bought the trailer, was told their lot rent's gonna be $1,000 a month. For what? They haven't done a damn thing for us, but aggravate.
Thank you. Maury?
Wildfish Road. All I would say is that I think, the town council, I understand about capitalism and, needing to make a profit, et cetera, et cetera. The difficulty is that some of these folks just can't accept they not just accept, they can't afford, they don't have the money, they don't have the resources to continue to pay these increases. So basically what their choices are to leave their home, basically. So, it seems to me that the town council has some input into making sure people don't become homeless unnecessarily. And, we already know the big cities are dealing with homelessness. We don't want to encourage that. And we also have already in Standish a large number of people who, are homeless, who basically, we have a school representative who works with the families of children who basically sleep in their cars. So I just think, this has to be a responsible community. Thank you.
Anybody else for public comment?
Izzy Higgins, 215 Bonnie Eagle Road. I think that the circumstances that people in mobile home parks all over the country, particularly here in Maine, find themselves in is an extension of home prices everywhere. During the pandemic, people came from all over the place who had the wherewithal to buy up things, and housing everywhere is outrageous. These folks are in a particularly tough spot. They own their home, but they don't own the ground underneath it. And we're seeing these corporations all over the country coming in, buying up these lots, these parks, and way different than what a family business is. And they haven't, there have been issues with maintenance and water and septic and a bunch of other things that have not necessarily been remediated. And so in the face of not even maintaining what they have, asking for more money is just not right. This, if I understand correctly, puts it to a public vote. This puts it on the ballot, yes?
They collected enough
We collected the
signatures that
signatures,
they
so we're
can
just,
have it.
right now, we're just hearing it. It's already gonna be on the ballot, so.
Okay. And I think that's what needs to happen, is that the public has to weigh in, the greater public has to weigh in. But these people need all the help that the town can give them to support. They've been here, a lot of them, a long time. And I think it's the right thing to do to support this.
Any other public comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public comments and open it to the council. Let's go ahead, Sue.
Does this pertain to all mobile parks in Standish? Once this goes through, it will be all of them, correct?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
But just to be clear, what we're voting on today is that there will be a public hearing in 2 weeks. So this is going to go on to the ballot. The residents of Standish get to vote yes or no on whether they want this to apply to the town. It's gonna go in front of the voters. all we're doing is the vote today is just to say in 2 weeks, there can be a public hearing for it. Because there's rules as far as when there have to be public hearings and things like that. So I want to just be clear, that's what's being voted on today, is just to have a public hearing in 2 weeks.
We're not signing any ordinance or making any changes, it's just to notify everybody there's gonna be a public hearing. Any other council comments? Go ahead, Jeff.
Could we put a call out that a representative from all of our mobile home parks make an effort to attend our hearings? At least in-
And how does the notification work, Angela? Can we notify all the other mobile home parks in town to come to the public hearing if they want to?
I can do that for you.
Engraved.
How about I just put, I'll
Even
just
add
put
it to
up
the
the,
newspaper?
yeah, there's already a public hearing ad in the newspaper. Actually today, there's one in there for, because there's no way to stop this, so I already knew it was gonna go
Oh,
through.
I understand.
But yeah, there is something in the newspaper, and I can do an email blast on the website too or something. Okay.
I can help you,
I think that
Angela,
would be a
work
good
with
point.
JP.
Go ahead, Lisa.
I'm okay posting it on the website, and putting it in the paper is standard procedure. We did not notify every resident who owned a home during the zoning changes. We did not notify every resident around when we put up that vet practice. I do not think there should be a special notification for park owners now either. They get the same communication that everybody else does to come to the public meetings. So I don't think there should be a special call out to have all the park owners here. But I mean, feel free to spread the word among park owners. That's part of what the public should do, but I don't think we need to make a special effort to call everybody individually.
Very good.
How many mobile home parks are there in Standish? I know yours, sir, and I know Pine Tree. There's a third one somewhere?
114, the McNutt zone, and I talked to them at great length about this.
There you go.
West Side Sebago, the other one. Okay.
Yes.
I just was going through the ordinance draft as it's written, and it identifies a mobile home park as adapted or able to accommodate 2 or more mobile homes. I don't know about you, I live in a rural part of town, and 2 or more mobile homes covers a lot of folks that are not in the business of being a mobile home park. So I think my original question was more the mobile home parks that operate as a business rather than somebody renting out something in their backyard. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments from the council? Okay, seeing none, let's have a roll call, please.
Braun?
Yes.
Libby?
Yes.
Lowe?
Yes.
Macri?
Yes.
Strubing?
Yes.
Thomas?
I'm abstaining for conflict of interest.
And Watson.
Yes.
So is that sufficient enough in the
Yep.
newspaper? Okay.
That's
Thank
more
you.
than sufficient, yeah.
So, 79-26, call for special town meeting referendum election regarding Standish Charter amendments, place referendum question on the ballot, authorize warrant and call for public hearing for the November 3rd, 2026 special town meeting referendum election. Order that the Standish Town Council calls for the special town meeting referendum election to be held on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026, and be it further ordered that the following referendum questions be placed on the ballot. Question 1, shall the municipality approve the charter amendment summarized below? Summary of amendment. The proposed charter amendment reduces the number of meetings necessary for the town council to adopt an ordinance from 3 to 2. The proposed ordinance would be introduced at the first meeting with the public hearing and potential action on the proposed ordinance to take place at a subsequent meeting held at least 7 days after notice is given. Once adopted, ordinances would be published on the town's website, but would not be published in the newspaper. The complete text of the proposed amendments is on file at the office of the town clerk. Question 2, shall the municipality approve the charter amendments summarized below? Summary of amendments. These proposed charter amendments increase the total cost of capital expenditures requiring submission to and approval by referendum vote from $75,000 to $150,000. The complete text of the proposed amendments is on file at the office of the town clerk. The reason why I'm pausing, because there has been a substitute order. Thank you. Be it further ordered that the required public hearing on this referendum question will be held on Tuesday, October 13th, 2026 during the regularly scheduled monthly town council meeting, which begins at 6 p.m. and the warrant for a special town meeting referendum election will be approved at a future town council meeting.
Great, thank you. I know there's need for amendments.
I'd like to make a motion to amend. Each of the questions needs to indicate when they will take effect. So I would propose that question 1 would read as follows. Shall the municipality approve the charter amendment summarized below, comma, to take effective immediately upon adoption? Question mark. And I would also propose to add the same thing to question 2, to read, shall the municipality approve the charter amendment summarized below, comma, to take effect immediately upon adoption? Question mark.
I would second that. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of the order as amended? Very good. Any public comments on this? Okay, seeing none. Any other council comments, questions? Yes, Lisa?
I am concerned about reducing the number of meetings from 3 to 2, exactly for the reasons that the public had concerns for. A lot of times the information comes out of the town council after the first meeting, and then it's relayed to people who might be involved, and they may show up at the second meeting, and then they only get one chance. If we switch it from 3 to 2, there's only one chance to bring stuff up. I think the 3 meetings is appropriate. I have a concern.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
Tacking on to what the counselor was saying, I've been a business owner and I've often joked at the speed of sound versus the speed of city. And I understand the desire to make things more efficient and less time consuming as a business owner or as a person doing business with the city. But our due process, the communication, the opportunity to get people, involved, and if they need to rally the troops on a topic, giving them that amount of time seems much more reasonable and serves, to me, a greater good than the expediency of cutting it to 2. So that's said my.
Okay. Go ahead.
I would agree. I said this last time. I know of instances where things passed the first 2 times and failed the 3rd time, directly related to the trees case. And I'm against just going down to 3. It does save 30 days in a process that takes about 5 months. So it's not like we're significantly improving this. We're improving it by maybe 20%, but that's about it. To me, that time is very important because people don't get out. They don't know about it. They hear about it from their neighbor. Oh, hey, I didn't read the paper this time, or I didn't see that. And that's another thing, not putting this stuff in the shopper's guide. I already spend too much time online. I don't normally go to the town to read things. I do flip through the shopper's guide quickly. And if it says Standish, I stop and I read that for a minute. Other than that, if we're reducing that place to get information and reducing the amount of time we have to bring that forward, I think that's a significant burden on the people of Standish.
Sure. Can I just clarify?
I was just gonna ask you if you want to clarify.
Yeah, so the published part of it, the only part that moves to the website is the after it's adopted, but it still goes in the newspaper. It still goes through the same process as we do now. So I just want to clarify that because that was the second time I heard it here.
Any other questions? Comments? Okay, seeing none, roll call.
Braun,
Yes.
Libby,
Yes.
Lowe,
No.
Macri,
No.
Strubing,
No.
Thomas,
Yes.
and Watson.
Yes.
It's 4 yeses. So it passes.
Passes, yep. Thank you.
So 80-26, amendments to Standish Town Code, Chapter 252, Streets and Sidewalks, Road Acceptance. The town of Standish hereby ordains that Chapter 202, Parks and Recreation Areas of Standish Town Code be and hereby is amended as follows. Additions are underlined, deletions are struck out. This is Section 252-20, Acceptance Procedure E. The town council shall only consider private roads for the town acceptance in the months of July and then added through October of each year. Struck out applications and then added a written intention to apply for road acceptance must be made to added Public Works Director and struck out town prior to April 1 on or before the second Wednesday in January of the year in which the road is being offered for acceptance. A full application with all materials required under section 252-20B must be submitted to the town at least 90 days prior to the town council meeting at which the application is to be heard. Prior to being placed on the town council's agenda, the public works director, planning director, code enforcement officer, and town attorney must all certify that the road being offered for acceptance has satisfied all standards and requirements of this code and other applicable state and local regulations and ordinances. This certification is not binding on the town council, and the decision of whether or not to accept a road is dependent solely on the town council's opinion that doing so is in the best interest of the town.
Great. Thank you. So, did you want to talk on this, Jen? Or John?
So this comes from the July 28th workshop, when we discussed the new road acceptance stuff. It was originally just the dates that were submitted as the second Wednesday to get you up to speed, Councilor Lowe. Basically, the budgeting reason is for the January letter because we start our budget process in February, March to go through. So if we're looking at accepting roads, we have to budget certain items if we're going to be going to look at plowing reasons, stuff like that. So that's why we moved it from April to January for the letter of submitting. It used to be just we'd only accept roads in the month of July. We're changing that to allow roads to be accepted from July through October now for that, because there's inspections done by our hired engineers, so it's done in the summertime. And it also gives opportunity if there's stuff for margin that needs to be corrected, that can be corrected and still be able to be looked at accepting. There's nothing that says the council has to accept a road. It's up to you guys on whether or not you choose to accept it on that, but it gives more opportunity for the road to be looked at. The town attorney added the other language about having acceptable the submission of like as-built and monumentation and easements and the deeds 90 days prior from what was originally talked about at the workshop, just to cover other issues that we had during the last talk about cider mill.
Yep.
Thank you.
That summarizes
That
it.
summarizes it perfectly. Any questions from the public?
Hi, my name is Brian Levitt, Oak Hill Road, Standish. I think that's great to open up the doors for a longer acceptance period. I think that helps us all a lot as far as having the time to do due diligence as far as the town and the contractor and the builder. One concern I have, though, is how the roads are viewed, not only pre-planning and through the planning process, but also upon acceptance. There seems to be an awful gray area, which is a huge concern of mine, where the roads are built to the public road standards, they're accepted and they're approved through the planning board, everybody's happy right up until the acceptance time. And now all this money and effort and engineering that everybody's approved, the people that bought the lots, the people that moved into their houses is now questioning whether the council is going to accept these roads. Well, these people have bought the homes thinking that they were going to be town accepted roads. That's been in the process all the way through. So the developer has paid for the finished hot top, paid for all the proper, monumentation, everything that the town of Standish and other surrounding towns too. This Standish isn't alone in this matter. But it worries me to think that you go through all this process, not only as a potential home buyer, a contractor building the roads, but to come to the final straw and then have the council say, no, we're not going to accept this. And why? Well, because the road didn't quite meet our standard, our likings, it didn't pass through, it didn't have the right shrub on it, didn't have this on it. I mean, it's just, if we could get that ahead of the curve, and talk about that pre-planning maybe. I don't know. I'm looking for ideas here too from the town, from.
Currently, what it states is on there, when they get their planning board approval, they have to have an HOA in place that says until town accepted. There's no guarantee. So on the plans when going through planning board, there's no guarantee that the town is going to accept it. It's already on the plans of that way. And I don't disagree, Brian, that we should be able to communicate somehow, but council changes, when it comes to we're talking like current plans were done in 2018. I mean,
Right.
we're 8 years later at a different council.
Right.
It changes in between with the last one, you know, it's one of those things of, if there was a way to do it, I'm open to it, but I don't know. I did ask the planning department if there was a way to do it, because I feel the same way, but again, the response was, it says on the plan, so the buyer should be aware when they're not buying on a town road, this is what they are buying, that there's a chance of the town not accepting it. That was there.
I think that's a good point, John, on, you know, when, you know, you get these things approved, and some projects, involved in a couple myself, that have taken way longer than they should have. So all the council members, all the board members, public works directors change. Everything changes and evolves differently. People think differently, and it's just, I don't know, it's not black and white anymore. It's this big, huge gray areas and what people need to interpretate. And I mean, the town's been great. We've worked through a bunch of hurdles with myself and projects I've been working on too, but I don't know. I don't even know. It's
Just so you know, that would still have to be built to town standard. You couldn't say it can't be built to town standard, because the developer would be in default. They have to put up a performance guarantee stating that it's gonna be built to town standard. But again, that doesn't guarantee the town accepts it.
John, didn't we just change our practice too, so that we have more communication and, I forget what we call it.
So we've, since I became director, we've done some stuff that the infrastructure has to be in place first prior to building permits. So that includes like base pavement, drainage and stuff. So before, we're having issues of houses being built, but no way to get to the houses to get there, because the roads weren't in place yet, which were some out of developers' controls, not saying that. But, you know, we've changed some practice. We have inspections now. So our third-party engineer, which is LJB, goes out and inspects weekly, sometimes a little more, a little less, depending on what's going on in the project, to check to see where the project's at, progression, to make sure it's being built to town standard. So that way, when we get to something like cider mill, I keep going back to that, but we're not facing the after effect. Like, we're checking to make sure that it's meeting the standard ahead of time prior to getting to the end.
another process that we've been involved in that has been very painful for some of us too, but I agree with all of it. It's good for the town, it's good for the people, it's good for the developer in time. That's all I had to say. I think it's something that we all need to think about moving forward, that's all.
Thank you, Brian. Anything else from the public?
Higgins, 215 Bonnie Eagle Road. At the workshop, it was, part of what I understood was that the residents themselves didn't understand where landscaping could and couldn't be, and that at Cider Mill, that's a big part of why the approval hasn't happened. And so I guess in the process of people, of the developers putting information out to the prospective buyers, that type of thing needs to be.
So the ordinances have been in place since 1998, which is way before me. And I tried to explain, the developers who did that development, that was their first development. I tried to explain to them that they still own that land. Everybody believes that you own to the roadway. A lot of people think that, but in reality, you don't own. There's a 50-foot right-of-way that if the town takes it over, that's gonna be town responsibility land within that area. So the town controls what's in that area. So because it creates liabilities and everything else for us to do that. So again, it's out there, but I don't know how else to say that, again, this project was long going before me. It was pretty much built before.
So basically, the process of educating the homeowners to what.
Should be the developer.
Should be, okay. All
Because
right.
the developer still owns that land. They still own that right now.
Because these people did, they did their decorating and landscaping and hardscaping in good faith with what they thought they could do. So I guess if that piece of education gets put in the right spot, at the right time.
I think that the developer has learned.
That would
that now that they.
And the
understand-
headaches.
Yes, yeah.
Anything else from the public? Okay, seeing no one close public comment on this, open up to the council. This, go ahead, Ben.
So I do have a question that's a little concerning because on here it says prior to being placed on the town council's agenda. So before it would even be put on an agenda, the public works director, planning director, code enforcement officer, and town attorney must all certify that the road being offered for acceptance has satisfied all standards and requirements of this code and other applicable state and local laws, regulations, and ordinances. So before it would come to the council to even be put on the agenda, it has to satisfy everything. So the road that we were talking about last time, and I can't remember, Cider Hill. Because the sidewalks or the landings or entrances of the sidewalks are not to ADA compliant. According to this, the council would never even get an opportunity to vote on that because it doesn't meet those standards. Is that, am I reading this
There's a
wrong?
difference. It was built to plan, but the plan didn't meet the standard. So if the town were to accept it, they're accepting the liability if a claim was ever made.
I totally understand that.
Yep.
Would that ever come to the council?
I think that would be a town attorney question. I don't have
Because
that.
the way I read
So,
this is it
one-
wouldn't even come to the council.
Town attorney in his responses, we had to advise you of it. I think he'd probably say the same thing again, that I don't think it would prevent you, but we would advise you there's a liability.
Okay. Because the way it's written makes it seem like it wouldn't even, you don't have a choice if somebody
Basically, we
doesn't
had to
sign off.
advise you of the liability.
So Jeff and then Jen.
Just a question, but how often in your experience has the town council refused a building or a project that has checked off all those boxes?
In 4 years that I've been here, the previous public works director finished the last one in 2023. I have not had any since. We've had multiple developments built that are going to be coming very shortly with multiple miles being added for or possibility of maintenance.
So historically, not a huge problem, but we do have something on the horizon.
Yes.
All right. And then I'll have a question for the council here. What was brought up with regarding the process. You've heard me talk about processes. So if we have Public Works, Planning, Code Enforcement, and the town attorney all certifying that it has met our standards, everybody's happy. The way I read this, and sadly sometimes history has shown us that if we were to turn down something that had satisfied engineering, legal, all of those issues, then that creates something where we would have to justify our actions, whether as a council or independently. And that, I think, is problematic, that we got to stand up and explain to somebody why it meets all of the standards, but we're turning it down.
Again, I would say you have to look at how many houses is it? What's the total cost is it gonna be for maintaining it? Because, I mean, we're looking at paving maintenance to be added to the town plan. You know, people say they pay a lot of taxes, but the municipality only operates off a quarter of that tax. 3/4 of it goes to the school. We have to look at, plow trucks, are we adding? I'm not against accepting roads, but there's a cost to accepting the road, and does that cost?
I do understand that there are capital costs and then there are annual operating expenses. I just wanted to understand where.
I think a big important thing that we need to look at is connectivity. Like, are we accepting roads that are gonna be dead-end roads that have no connectivity to it?
But that's a concrete example that I think everybody in a room could understand and be able to either work around or just acknowledge that it might be a sticking point. But the language here just says non-binding solely on the town council's opinion and what is in the best interest of the town. Somebody stood up here and said that, town councils change, but ordinances and laws should be a little bit more static. That way everybody knows what the game plan is, what the rules are, and they apply equally. So I'm just asking these questions out of ignorance of the details. So appreciate your patience, Chair.
So I saw Jen.
I wanted to go back to Counselor Macary's point. I think you have to read that sentence you were talking about with the last sentence, in that I think this is an instance where the council is going to see reports from the Public Works Director, the Planning Director, the Code Enforcement Officer, and the Town Attorney, whether the road ticks off all of the items in their department. And then the ultimate decision is going to be on the council. Am I correct in that?
That's correct.
So technically a road might not certify in all of those categories, but it's still gonna come before the council.
Our old ordinance says that it's just myself and code enforcement does a report to the council. Or not old, our current ordinance, I should say.
Then Lisa, you had a question.
I think my question is probably only half baked, so I don't know if I want to ask it, but I'm gonna put it out there because I did last time. Would it be possible, or would it be worth adding on there to estimate incoming taxes from that area that is requesting road maintenance? Because we only get a certain percentage for roads. If that development can't contribute enough to pay for their road maintenance, then it's the burden of the rest of the town to make up the difference, because they have a lovely neighborhood and they want stuff fixed. So would it behoove us to include in there the financial or economic impacts of it?
That's above my pay grade on that one. So.
I don't think we can. I can chat with our assessor, but it's not the way it works.
So that would just be something that we ask at the, okay, thank you. Yeah, it was half baked, but I want to put it out there.
Brian, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I think we have to look at the overall effect of when we approve these roads financially for the town. I mean, as John has stated, it isn't just this year. It's 5-10 years down the road. The upkeep, the plowing, the maintenance.
Accepting this road doesn't put us over the top, but sometime it's
Some road is.
Right.
Now, when you get 2 or 3 bunched together, make a big impact on our mill rate.
Yep. And Jen, go ahead.
I have a question for John, I guess. So if a developer came to us and there were multiple roads in the subdivision, would the council have the ability to pick and choose which ones it wanted?
I would say yes.
Thanks.
Anything else from?
I think, but I think for tonight, we're only discussing
Discussing the
opening
change.
up that acceptance range for those extra months and having the permission in. That's all we're voting on tonight.
Thank you for the clarification. Good point.
Each road that to go back to your question, has been individually named as far as acceptance from all the research I've done from other roads.
Sure. There's no other council comments. We'll do a roll call. Go ahead.
Ron?
Yes.
Libby?
Yes.
Lowe?
Yes.
Macri?
Yes.
Strubing?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
And Watson?
Yes.
81-26, amendments to Standish Town Code, Chapter 202, Parks and Recreation Areas, Smoking Prohibited. The Town of Standish hereby ordains that Chapter 202, Parks and Recreation Areas of the Standish Town Code being hereby is amended as follows. Additions are underlined, deletions are struck out. This is Section 202-2, Smoking Prohibited. And it looks like this is all added. A, definitions. As used in this chapter, the following terms shall have the meanings indicated. Electronic smoking device, a device used to deliver nicotine or any other substance intended for human consumption that may be used by a person to simulate smoking through inhalation of vapor or aerosol from the device, including without limitation a device manufactured, distributed, marketed, or sold as an electronic cigarette, electronic cigar, electronic pipe, electronic hookah, or so-called vape pen. Smoking includes carrying or having in one's possession a lighted or heated cigarette, cigar, or a pipe, or a lighted or heated tobacco or plant product intended for human consumption through inhalation. Whether natural or synthetic in any manner or any form, smoking includes the use of electronic smoking device. B, smoking is prohibited on the following town-owned properties: John H. Rich Jr. and Doris Lee Rich Memorial Beach Parking Lot, Steep Falls Village Park, Route 25 Ball Field, Memorial Field, Steep Falls Ball Field and Ice Skating Rink, Sebago Lake Johnson Field Ball Field, Ice Skating Rink and Tennis Area, Sebago Lake Boat Launch Area, and Harbins Beach Road Public Beach. C, enforcement, violations and penalties. Prior to issuing a citation for a violation of this chapter, a law enforcement officer shall issue one verbal warning to an individual. Subsequent violations are subject to a minimum fine of $50 per occurrence.
Great, thank you. Any public comments?
To add the outlook on Route 35, is that also?
Oh, did I?
It is not included in it.
Oh.
Some people want to go there in their own car and smoke a cigarette. We felt like it was not for us to decide that. Most people stay in their cars, don't get out, so it was not included in this draft.
You think that's appropriate?
I'm not a smoker, but I feel like if they choose to have a coffee and a cigarette and watch the sunset, that's their choice. It's not like in a park that it's gonna blow on someone else.
Sure. It's just a public area, that's all.
Yep.
That a lot of people go to.
We're trying to be mindful both ways, of smokers and non-smokers.
I did want to ask, I'll ask on public comments.
Great, any other public comments coming up?
Michelle Guilford. I coached softball for 14 years. My dad did for 40, and I can tell you that I think you're making a great choice by not allowing that. Kids don't need to see it, don't need to smell it. People, don't want to breathe it in, and being mindful of people that want to smoke in a car. Like, I'm a non-smoker too, and I don't like to smell it near me, but if they're in the car, then so be it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, we'll close the public comments. Anything from the council? Ben?
Where is the Steep Falls Village Park?
Right beside my house.
By Dan's.
In Mill Street.
Mill Street.
So it's the Mill Street Park.
Yeah, it
It is not the park that a lot of people would
No.
associate with downtown Steep Falls. Okay.
Right.
Where is the Steep Falls ice skating rink?
Same place.
Same spot.
So why is the ice skating ring listed with the ball field and not with the Steep Falls Village Park? It seems a little
Well,
weird
there's
to me
two.
because it makes me feel like there are
There are two.
two ice skating rinks.
See,
One's
there's
at
Steep Falls Ball
Johnson.
Field and ice skating, and then there's Johnson Field Ball Field.
right, but
And ice skating.
but we have also Steep Falls Village Park up here.
That's the one out on 25. That's where the gazebo is.
But that is not a town-owned property. That's what I want to make very
Oh.
clear, is that is not a town-owned property. That is a privately owned piece of property. And so I want to, that's why I was asking what is what here, because that is a very significant difference. That is owned by the
I don't
Steep
think the
Falls
Steep Falls
Village.
Village Park is
Compute-
referring to where the gazebo is.
Is that,
I know.
they have that Steep Falls Village Improvement Society that maintains
I was
that.
gonna say who maintains it, so that answers that question.
Yeah, they own it. They own it. That society owns it. So if that's what that is referring to, then that is not a town-owned property and that needs to be removed.
Go ahead, Jen.
Could we replace Steep Falls Village Park with the Mill Street Park?
Yes.
That's, yes,
I make that motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, so moved. So that's now Mill Street Park. I think that's about it. So you had a question?
I just want to know, how are they going to enforce this? This is,
That would be
it's like we're.
sheriff's office.
Yeah.
So they would,
Yeah.
we put some signs up at some of our parks because we've had issues. If you see something, say something, and we put that emergency line or non-emergency. It's impossible, but it would be
It
for
is,
what
it
they
is.
talked about of if someone's being belligerent during soccer practice,
Yeah.
we could get them removed.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Anything else from the council? Okay, let's have a roll call.
Braun?
Yes.
Libby?
Yes.
Flo?
Yes.
Macri?
Yes.
Strubing? Yes. Thomas?
Yes.
And Watson?
Yes.
82-26, authorizing selection of licensed real estate broker and execution of an agreement for the listing of tax acquired properties, whereas order 69-26, authorize the issuance of a request for proposals, RFP, for professional real estate broker or agent services to market tax acquired properties pursuant to 36 MRS section 943-6 C3A and Section 70-5 of the Standish Town Code, and whereas the Town of Standish issued said request for proposals and duly received and opened proposals submitted by qualified brokers, in order that the attached bid from blank is hereby selected as the town broker for tax acquired properties, and further order that the town manager is authorized on behalf of the town to execute related contract documents.
Before we go any further, I know Councilor Thomas has some things to say, so I'll let you have your time.
Thank you. The Finance Committee met and we discussed the applicants. There were 6 applicants. Of the 6 applicants, we discovered that only 2 of them had experience with listing tax foreclosed properties. The Finance Committee was of the opinion that's an important quality of a real estate agent for this position, is that they have experience with the foreclosure statutes, because it's recently changed and a bit complicated. We were disappointed to see that there were no applicants from the Standish area. So we narrowed it down from the 6 applicants to the 2 that had the experience. One set of agents is from the Augusta area, and then there was another agent from the Hollis area. So the Finance Committee is recommending Casey Gray from Hollis to fill this position. We also are recommending that there be a provision in the town's contract that Ms. Gray not act as a disclosed dual agent. In the state of Maine, agents have the ability to represent both buyers and sellers. We feel at the Finance Committee it's not in the best interest of the town for the person that the town hires to be a dual agent. And so we would ask that that be a provision of the contract. I'm happy to provide the language after we've discussed.
Great. So we'll hear public comment at this time, if there is any.
Anthony Folsom. Is this going to be a realtor that's going to handle the purchases or the sales of these from now on, from this forward, or is it just what houses we have now that are up? And have we used people in the past to sell our property or whatever? I know before property has come up for sale, and I've never heard all this debate over who we're going to have realtors. So is this a new thing, or?
The statute changed a year or so ago, and towns are now required, we used to put it out to bid. Towns are now required to enlist a real estate agent.
So when prior, who did the deal? The realtor stole, or was it within the house or in-house?
We look for equipment. We did the same thing. We put a notice out in the paper and said, give us your highest and best bid on this piece of property.
Okay, so are we gonna use this person from now on? Is that what we're figuring out now, or is next year we're gonna go through this again? And
I think the expectation was that we were going to offer them a 3-year contract.
Okay.
At the moment, we have 3 properties that I believe we're going to be taking under consideration next meeting.
So things have changed in the last year and a half, is what you're saying? Yes. So the process that I've seen before
is not what we're doing anymore.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the
question. Thank you, Tony. Anybody else?
Just another question. Carolyn Beagle, 141 Ospey Trail East. Since we have 3 properties now, instead of doing a 3-year contract, would we want to just see how they do for these 3 properties and then potentially offer a contract versus 3-year when we haven't tested the waters yet? Just a question.
Thank you. Anybody else for public comment? Okay, so now we'll close public comment. Any councilor comments? Okay, go ahead.
3-year term, I mean, I think that is a good thing to have in here or understand. This seems like it is, we're using them from now on. And, do we want to renew this every year or look at it every year kind of a thing, or put the 3-year term in there? I'm not sure.
I don't have the bid in front of me.
Nor do I. But I think
the bid said 3 years.
I'm pretty sure the bid said 3 years.
Because we had a number of applicants talk about the 3-year period.
Okay. So should that be in this order then?
We can probably add it to the order.
And if it's for 3 years and there is some issue with them not doing well, we can rescind that order, or we can stop doing business with them. Is that something we can do as a council?
I think that would fall under the town manager is authorized to execute, things, for the town. But I think, do we want to be more specific than that?
I'm just wondering if, so I think Carolyn makes a good point. So we have 3. If they do 3 and they don't do well, or there are issues, can we at a council come back and say, you know what? We're gonna end the 3-year term sooner, and we're gonna look and go with somebody else. I don't know legally if we're allowed to do that, or if this is a signed 3-year contract that is 3 years no matter what happens.
What if we put in a provision that said, further order that the term of appointment be for 3 years and the town manager may terminate the contract for cause with 30 days notice?
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Would you like a motion?
Let's make a motion as to amend that.
Okay, I make a motion that we fill in Casey Gray as the town's broker for tax acquired properties, and that we add the following 2 provisions. I'll give you mine.
Thank you. Sounds good.
Further ordered that, so this goes in, it will read, ordered that the attached bid from Casey Gray is hereby selected as the town's broker for tax acquired properties, and further ordered that a provision of the town's contract with Ms. Gray is she may not act as a disclosed dual agent, and further ordered that the term of appointment be for 3 years and the town manager may terminate the contract for cause with 30 days notice. Further order that the town manager is authorized on behalf of the town to execute related contract documents.
Beautiful.
Second that.
All in favor of this as amended is unanimous. And if there's no other council comments on this, let's have a roll call as amended.
Okay, Braun?
Yes.
Libby?
Yes.
Lowe?
Yes.
Macri?
Yes.
Strubing?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
And Watson?
Yes. Okay, public items. Is there any public items this evening?
I'm still writing on everything. Okay, sorry, it's not me, it's them.
From Beagle 141 Osprey Trail East, Standish. A comment from you, Mr. Macri. I appreciate that when the council members were meeting, it was 2 at a time. But that if you're still all discussing one item, that is purposefully avoiding the rules that say you can't meet in private. And the reason you have 7 members on the council is to be able to not have a tie. And I do think even if there were only 6, that's where compromise comes in, that it's a really solid exercise in stating your case, persuasion, and getting a consensus for a chair. So I think the process was underhanded. I don't think it was legal. And I have to say, I'm really disappointed with that process. Even if you think that it's a workable outcome, and it might be, the process was flawed, and I hope that we have more transparency in the future.
I will, am I allowed to comment on that?
Go for it.
I will say, the meeting that happened between Jen and Brandon, I had no say in it. I didn't know it was gonna happen. They did it, got together, talked through this, worked it out, and then presented it later on. So this wasn't a, let me talk to him, let me do that kind of thing. I know that has been done before, but this, from my understanding, my point of view, it was the 2 of them got together, came up with a fairly reasonable proposal, and then it was talked about, I believe, at the workshop following that. So I know that there have been some underhanded or behind the scenes stuff that was done. This is probably as public. Yeah, I sleep well at night. Say that.
One more comment, something totally
There's one time-
related,
no,
totally
you can have a
related.
seat. You
I
have
just
one-
want to welcome you. I think you're a fabulous addition to the council.
Any other public comments? Public items this evening? Okay, seeing none, that would close. Any announcements? Oh, sorry, I did not see your hand. The podium is right there.
I just, public announcements, right? Tomorrow
state your
night,
name, please?
Delta Knights are playing.
Izzy, can you state your name?
Yes.
Or, sorry, Maury?
Yeah, you did.
Sorry, Izzy. Sorry, Maury.
What's your
for the
name,
record.
please, so we all know who you are again?
Maury Hill, Wildridge Road. All I wanted to say is that Parks and Recreation is having Delta Knights play tomorrow night at 6:30 at Steep Falls at the gazebo of the park. Not public park, public.
Great, thank you. I just have one quick announcement. I just want to say thank you to Jackie Dyer for her 15 years of service. She is going to be retiring towards the end of this month, so I know she's had a lot of work here as a planning assistant and all our other roles. I know she fills lots of gaps here and there. So just as a council or as me personally say, thank you to Jackie Dyer. And her 15 years of service. There's no other executive session, so I'll hear a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, all in favor of adjournment? Thank you.